Hey everybody, it's Patrick. It's Tuesday, and on Tuesdays I talk about long hair. Today I wanted to talk about my own hair. Usually I give tips and tricks about long hair in general. Today I'm going to talk about a bit of a frustration I've been having with my very own hair, and what I possibly will plan to do about it. This is not about anybody else's hair, just as a disclaimer. This isn't about your hair. It's not about your hair preferences, how long you like your hair, or even how long you like my hair. This is about my preferences that have to do with my own hair. Over the past few months, I have been contemplating getting a haircut, and I think I mentioned this just before the end of last year. I mentioned that my hair was getting a bit long, a bit unmanageable, even though I have a really decent amount of length. It's hard to see because I have the camera so close to me, but my length, it is uneven. When I got it cut, it was uneven, but it's well down my chest and well down my back. It's very far down my back right now, and while that seems like somewhat of an accomplishment, I guess, in that I always think it's funny when I talk about or people talk about having long hair as an accomplishment, because it can be a pain to wait for your hair to grow, but you're literally not doing anything. You know, the way to let your hair grow is to not cut it. Now, that doesn't mean that you're letting it grow in nicely, that you're keeping it well maintained or anything. It just means that, you know, the hair has grown. So there are a lot of other steps in there. I don't want to turn anybody off by making them think that I'm dismissing your accomplishment in growing your long hair, or if you are growing your long hair. However, my hair is now to the point where I feel like it's too long. It's just much too long for me, just because I can't do anything with it. And it's not that I like to have a whole lot of different styles, but I basically have two available to me now. I have it in a ponytail, in a very long ponytail at this point, or straight down. Both of them are fine, but I don't like the way my hair looks. I don't like the way I look when my hair is in a ponytail most of the time. To me, I'm getting past the point of I grew long hair because I really like long hair and that's great, to this is the guy who never cut his hair because he doesn't really care about his hair or his grooming or anything. And I've always paid attention to my grooming. I've always paid attention to what I wear. I have a kind of a different kind of style than a lot of guys my age, and a lot of guys, period, because I like things a lot more colorful and a lot, I like looking at clothes from all over the place. If I were younger nowadays, I would probably want to do something in design, that sort of thing. So having hair this long, to me, feels like my hair is just to the point, I've gotten to the point where it's like, it's not a choice anymore. It's just something that I'm not doing. I'm not cutting it because cutting it would mean decisions, would mean maintenance, would mean I'd have to remember to go to the hairdresser, all of that. And also, it just looks untidy to me. To me, right now, I feel like I'm looking a little bit disheveled and untidy. There are also some practical considerations with this. When I wash my hair, it takes a very long time to get it done. Now, anybody with long hair will tell you that, you know, shampooing and conditioning and drying and letting it all detangle, all of that takes a very long time, and I'm getting really bored with that process, quite honestly. I really would much rather still a long hairstyle. I mean, I'm thinking of going just above my shoulders. The main thing with getting your hair cut is that you have kind of one shot at it. You can, especially if you're going for a style from something where the weight of the hair takes care of all of the styling. My styling is just, the hair just pulls down where it pulls down, and that's it, you know. That's basically what I've got right now, because I have no curl, I have no layers, it's all just one layer of weight. As I cut it shorter, I mean, if I cut it to my shoulders, that's going to be a good, what's that, 6-7 inches of hair that will come off, maybe even more, maybe even close to a foot of hair that would come off to bring me to my shoulders. If you've seen any of my earlier videos, even though it was in a couple of layers, my hair tends to curl up at the ends. It's going to hit my shoulders, and then just the physical hitting the shoulders is going to make that curl up, so I get those little flip at the end. Plus, I don't know what an all one length, shoulder length haircut looks like on me, because I've never had one. I had shoulder length in back and then kind of down to a little bit close to chin level in front, and so that's a style. Now that I look back on those videos and those pictures, it's not a style I particularly want to go back to. So it's a lot of choices. It's a lot of decisions that I'm going to have to make. But I do know that at this point, I'm not happy with the tremendous length that I have right now. I'm happy that I did it. I will probably keep long hair for quite a while longer, but I don't think I'll keep it quite this long. Now, one thing that I haven't mentioned is that there is quite a bit of peer pressure with being online with long hair and making videos about long hair. I'm a little bit loath to admit it, but part of the reason that I keep the hair as long as I do is because I make videos about long hair, and so many people say, oh, don't cut your hair, please don't cut your hair. And even though that's people that I don't necessarily know all that well, or even I know through YouTube and have talked to over the years, it still affects me. I still think about that. Anytime I think about cutting my hair, I hear those people's voices in my head saying, oh, no, don't cut it. It's so pretty. It's so nice. It's, you know, whatever. I really like your hair. But at some point you have to do things for yourself. And while I'm not going to go to a short hairstyle right now, it's probably, and I say this, if you followed me over the years, I've said this in updates before, I'm going to cut my hair and then I don't do something about it. But I think things are getting to the point where it's just too long for me. Now, once again, this is a very personal choice. It's something that has to do with my style. My happiness with the way that my own hair looks has nothing to do with you and your goals for your hair, your particular style, or, like I said, what you think about my hair. I'm not going to take a vote on it or anything, but just to bring it back to general hair care, I would say always remember that when you're growing out your hair, unless it's for a cultural reason or for a religious reason or something that is outside of your control, the way that you look and the way that you present yourself is a very personal decision. So I'm just putting kind of these things out on the line, this sort of peer pressure of people I don't even know telling me what they think I look like with long hair, and my own insecurities about having long hair or hair at a particular length. Those can all affect you, and it doesn't make them invalid. It just makes them other factors to consider. And I'm considering them right now. And whether I do it, say, this weekend, some night this week, in a month from now, if I never cut it, who knows? But that's a decision that I can make myself, and it's just something that's been going through my head this week. Thanks so much for joining me this week. I will, of course, let people know how things are going with my hair and all of that. If I do decide to cut my hair, I will certainly take pictures of that, probably while it's happening, and definitely afterwards. If you're not following me on Instagram, my Instagram is the exact same name as it is here on YouTube. It's xingcat. You can also follow me on Twitter, xingcat on Twitter as well. Pretty much anywhere on the web. If you look up XINGCAT, that's probably me. It's kind of a unique name. If you haven't subscribed already, why don't you subscribe right down below? If you click on the little button and click on the little bell, it will give you notifications as to when I've updated a new video. I don't just talk about long hair. There is a whole world of other, I call them people, but they're puppets, who live in my house with me. We make recipes, they talk about self-esteem, they talk about being famous, all sorts of cool stuff. So would love it if you would subscribe. If not, thank you for joining me this time, and I look forward to talking to you next time.